Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you how I prepare this amazing Guyanese New Year's Eve cook-up rice. Okay guys, so let's take a quick look at the ingredients I'll be using today. Here I have my meats already well seasoned, and I'll show you the type and how I season it in just a minute. I have some coconut milk, some red peas, black eyed peas, they're already soaked. I have some parboiled rice, and for my herbs and aromatics I'll be using some thyme, basil, cilantro, celery, onions, scallions, bell peppers, ginger, garlic, some habanero peppers. And for my seasoning, I have some mushroom seasoning, seasoned salt, cook-up seasoning, black pepper, chicken bouillon, and some brown sugar. So here are the meats I'll be using today. I have some tripe, chicken foot, fresh beef, and some corned beef brisket. Now I use corned beef brisket in place of salted beef because where I live in America, we don't have salted beef that we get in Guyana. We have this. It's corned beef brisket and it works really well. It's salted and everything, so it's a great substitute. So here I have some fresh green seasoning, some Chinese sauce. I have bouillon, black pepper, seasoned salt, a little bit of garlic and onion powder, and some all-purpose seasoning. So basically what I did was added all of my seasoning as well as the Chinese sauce for color to the meats, and I just mix well to combine. Cover and allow this to sit in my refrigerator overnight. So here are my dried black eyed peas and dried red peas. And what I like to do is soak this overnight. I pour some cool room temperature water over and I just let it sit, and tomorrow I will pour that water off and rinse really well before boiling. So, this is just an easy step to make your process way easier when you're ready to actually start cooking. So now fast forward to the next day. I did wash my peas thoroughly before adding it to a pot of water. We will boil this for 20 minutes. Since red peas take the longest to cook, I like to give it a head start. Boil for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we're going to add the black eyed peas. We're going to boil that also for about 20 minutes, or at least until all of the peas are nice and tender, but not too tender. You want it still firm to the touch. Next, we will go ahead and pressure the meat, starting with our tripe, since that one is the toughest. I like to start with that, add some hot water and allow that to go for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we are going to add our beef, since that's the second toughest one. Once the beef is added, we'll allow this to go for 10 minutes before we add the chicken foot. The chicken foot, it doesn't take a long time, so 10 minutes, it will be perfect. Now to a preheated pot with some oil, I will add my herbs and aromatics. We'll give it a good stir and allow to go for about 3 minutes or so. Next, we'll go ahead and start adding our washed rice. You want to make sure you wash the rice thoroughly before adding it. Then we will add our peas. The peas are perfectly cooked. They're not too soft because they have to cook a little more with the rice. And that extra cook time will make them perfect. We will also add our meats in here. The meats are perfectly cooked as well. They will also cook a little more with the rice, which will give them the perfect texture when it's actually done. Now, once we mix everything to combine, we'll start adding our liquids. The first liquid we'll add is our coconut milk, and then we will add the broth from the meats. You don't want to discard your broth. You want to save it. I strained it and save it, and we'll add it in here. It adds great flavor. And we will also add the broth from our peas. You don't want to throw that away either. Save it. But I realized that my pot was too small as I was mixing, so I had to go ahead and just transfer it to a bigger pot. And once it was transferred, then I start adding the rest of the ingredients. Like I said, I added the broth from the peas. This will add great color and texture to your cook-up rice. Then you want to go in with your seasonings, mix really well. Once everything is nicely combined, I like to add a tad bit of sugar to balance everything out. When you're cooking any fully savory dish, you want to always add a pinch of sugar to add balance. Just like when you're you're cooking something sweet, you want to add salt to add balance. There you see me adding thyme and my peppers. Cover and let that simmer, until the rice is nice and tender. Occasionally you want to go in and give it a stir just to make sure nothing is burning or sticking at the bottom. And once your rice is nice and tender, that is when your cook-up rice is done. If you add the right amount of liquids, then you should have a very wet and moist cook-up rice. Now, at first, it will seem like it's too mushy or wet, but you want to let this sit and, it will come together once it cools down. If you don't leave any liquid there, it will be very dry once it cools. And that's not how you want your cook-up rice. You want it nice and wet and moist. Unless you like a dry cook-up, and I don't know many people who like dry cook-up. We cook up nice and wet. So here you have it, guys. My version of delicious, amazing Guyanese style cook-up rice. I did serve it up with a fresh garden salad, some fried ripe plantains, and some fried chicken wings, and it was to die for. I hope you all give this recipe a try. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, and leave a comment down below. I will leave all the ingredients and measurements down in my description box, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Happy New Year, and as always, enjoy.